An angry scream sounded, and Chu Qingcheng looked angrily at Master Yuan Song and his eyes turned red. The rest of the people were taken aback, unknown. With a scornful glance at Chu Qingcheng, the poisonous medicine king Lengheng said to two sons, "If you put it in your emperor's gate, will you give a medicinal antidote?" It makes sense. Suddenly, Wang Pu Qingyan nodded slightly. In an instant, everyone's eyes narrowed and they looked at him unclearly. He should be the helper invited by Hu Iolao. How could he say something that favors the king of medicine? Only Zhufen seemed to have expected it, still quietly tasting the wine on the table. "Second son, there is something wrong with this matter." At that time, it was really Yao Wangjian who started with our landlord first. "You can blame others, so can you send it to other families? As you said, our and all the people in Qianlong Pavilion in Ghost Valley. Qianlong Pavilion can all lie in the details of Ghost Valley." This statement makes sense, and all parents can't stop nodding. Even if there are some grudges, the sword is coming. To send a detailed work to other aristocrats, but it is too much work. Shame on the prestige of the seventh family. For a time, the blue and white landlord was anxious, but Chu Qingcheng was already fainted, and his eyes were just staring at Yuan Song's direction as if he would eat him. "Well, since the son and the elder parents are here, then let the elder son be a judge and the elder parents to be a witness to resolve the grievances of the two." Emperor Pu Qingyan shouted abruptly, preventing the two parties from arguing. Everyone looked at each other and all nodded as they should. Emperor Pu Qingyan looked in the direction of the poisonous hand medicine king. Yuan Song clenched his fists and smiled. "It's all based on the judgment of the second son." Looking again in the direction of Chu Qingcheng also grew a murmur and nodded slightly. Huangpu Qingyan was invited by her. She believed he would stand on the side of Huaiyu building. So both sides agreed, and Emperor Pu Qingyan's eyes flashed with light, showing a smug smile. "Since both parties have agreed, then we must abide by the judgment of our son, and in the future there will be no more objections, otherwise it will be a provocation to our emperor." "Yes." Chu Qingcheng and Poison Hand Potion King Qi nodded. "Okay." That young man judged. Elder Yuan handed over the antidote to the colorful Yun Luozhang to Huaiyu Tower, and it must not be pushed away. Wang Pu Qingyan announced loudly. Chu Qingcheng and others heard it. With a happy expression on his face, he quickly thanked. Suddenly, Emperor Pu Qingyan turned his head and said coldly, "But Huaiyu Tower has something wrong first. For the sake of fairness, Elder Yuan can choose one thing in Huaiyu Tower as compensation." As soon as this remark came out, everyone was shocked. Yuan Song did not want to know what he wanted, that is the Bodhi fibrous root. Huaiyu was reluctant to surrender the treasure of this townhouse, so he was unable to get the antidote. Otherwise, they have already exchanged with Yuan Song. Wang Pu's judgment seemed fair, but it was most beneficial to Yuan Song. In an instant, people seemed to understand what they were doing. Traveling back and forth between Yuan Song and Wang Pu Qingyan, Chu Qingcheng looked at Wang Pu Qingyan in shock, and then looked at Yuan Song, who was smirking. And then suddenly discovered that she had been trapped since the beginning. The two have colluded already. The second son is fair, and the old man is convinced to take it orally. The Poison Hand Medicine King laughed and prayed far away. "The old man is welcome, the old man needs the Bodhi root." No, Chu Qingcheng snorted and shook his sleeves. "I am the treasure of Huaiyulao's townhouse. I can never give it to you, Qingcheng. You invited me to be the judge. I have made the most impartial judgment for you. You are now regretting again. Are you playing with me?" Wang Pu Qingyan was furious and snorted. This time, everyone understood. This Emperor Pu Qingyan did not come for Chu Qingcheng, but for the Palace of Medicine King. Through this initiation, the Emperor Gate successfully inserted into the dispute between the Yaowang Palace and Huaiyu Tower. If the Huaiyu Tower no longer surrenders the Bodhi fibrous roots, they will face not only the Yaowang Palace, but also the most terrifying head of the seven, the Imperial Gate. As soon as the Emperor Gate intervened, no one in the rest of the family dared to help Huayulao. Huayulao has not yet expelled the evil wolf, but has brought a tiger for himself. There is really no hope of returning to heaven. Chu Qingcheng stared tightly at Wang Pu Qingyan's eyes, tears flashing in his eyes. She had never imagined that she was regarded as the last life-saving straw, and he, who was the sweetheart, had brought her the most ruthless betrayal. The blue and white landlord and the peony landlord were also so angry that their chests rose and fell, and the hatred in their eyes radiated nakedly. At this moment, they actually hate Wang Qingyan, a hypocrite, more than the poisonous drug king. It seemed that he dared not look at his former lover again. Wang Pu Qingyan didn't look too far and sighed a little. The matter has come to this point, you don't have to stubbornly continue to do so. It is also for you to spend good time, fart. If there is no Bodhificus root, what else do we have in the Huayu building? The hot temper of the Peony Lord can no longer hold back, and he yelled at the second son. If there are no more people, what is left of you Huayu Tower? Wang Pu Qingyan also sneered, and said sharply, in short, I have already said it before, and it is judged by the sun. The sun has already judged. You just follow suit, otherwise you will not be able to bear the anger of the Imperial Gate. Suddenly, the landlord of Peony was dumb. And the landlords of Chu Qingcheng and Blue and White showed a desperate look. However, at this moment, a sneer suddenly came into everyone's ears. Sun Huangpu. If you have just heard it right, next time, you are saying that you have come to judge, and the elders present are a witness. Now you have judged after that. It is time for parents to testify right and wrong. As soon as this statement came out, everyone was shocked, and they all looked at the source of the sound. They want to see who is so daring to dare to touch the emperor's brow at such a time.